a shocking case that's emerged in Jammu and Kashmir. There's been another targeted killing. Terrorists have shot and killed a teacher in the Kulgam district of Jammu and Kashmir. That's the information we've got. A short while ago, the police had put out a post on social media saying the terrorists had fired at a teacher. At that time, however, they said that the teacher was being rushed to hospital, but very soon the news came that the teacher has died. The teacher's name, she has been identified as Rajni. It's not clear whether she's a Kashmiri Pandit or from somewhere else in the country, but very tragic news coming in. Yet another targeted killing of an individual there in Jammu and Kashmir, with terrorists firing at a teacher in Kulgam, and she was rushed to hospital. However, she died. She was critical after the firing. She was fired at in the school in Kulgam. So this comes after a series of targeted killings that have been taking place in Jammu and Kashmir that have even led to protests. Remember, there was the Kashmiri Pandit Rahul Bhatt who was killed. He was an employee of a government of the government there, and it's after that his killing had triggered protests that went on for several days, where Kashmiri Pandits were actually demanding they be moved out of the valley. They weren't safe. There were videos also shared of their children appealing to the Prime Minister, to the government, to help their parents move out of the valley, that they don't feel safe. And then you had a case of a YouTube star or a social media star, a young Amiran, there also being killed by the terrorists. And now this latest incident in which a teacher has been killed by terrorists. There you can see the Kashmir police tweet. Injured lady teacher, a Hindu and resident of Samba, has succumbed to her injuries. Terrorists involved in this gruesome terror crime will soon be identified and neutralized. Remember, we have seen many of these encounters taking place in recent days, but it has created a sense of fear in the valley. This morning we had news that 2 terrorists had been killed in an encounter, but it's just the kind of occurrences we're seeing, targeted killings following by encounters in which we're told the terrorists responsible have been killed. But it's a never-ending cycle of violence that we're seeing continuing in the Kashmir Valley. And this morning, a teacher, Rajni, was shot at by terrorists. She was critically injured, and finally she died. The police there tweeting that the injured lady, teacher, Hindu and resident of Samba, has succumbed to her injuries. The terrorists involved will be identified and neutralized. But cold comfort for the family of this teacher who was shot at by terrorists. Now, remember, as we said, there have been protests by Kashmiri Pandits in the valley wanting to be shifted out from there, shifted on to Jammu, claiming that they are not safe in the Kashmir Valley, given these targeted killings and shootings that have been taking place by terrorists. The LG had also spoken to the Kashmiri Pandits and tried to reassure them. Manoj Sinha meeting with the protesting Kashmiri Pandits after Rahul Bhatt was killed. Well, let's go across to Nazir now for more. Nazir, tragic news coming in of a teacher having been killed. Give us the details.
Well, Rajni Balla was going to school. Whether she had entered the school or she was on way, she has been targeted. It is a targeted attack because of her identity. She was an Hindu, that's why she has been killed. Otherwise, thousands of teachers go to school every morning. And while she has gone to teach, to give education, impart education to children, but she was killed because of her identity. It is the second such attack in recent times because of the identity of the victim. They were targeted, be it Rahul Bhatt or be it Rajni Balla from Samba. So she was part of that, this reservations, jobs given under reservations to scheduled caste in Jammu and Kashmir, where the scheduled caste get 8% reservation in every district, in every quota, in every job recruitment in Jammu and Kashmir. This was law passed by erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir Assembly long back. She was serving in Kulgam, and she was shot dead in this horrible terror incident. And as we talk, Kashmiri Pandits are still protesting, and they have been saying since last 3 weeks that we are not safe. Relocate us. How can we teach? In fact, one teacher told me during a protest, once he is teaching in a classroom, he feels scared. He's always looking towards a door and seeing if some attacker may come and shoot him. That is the kind of fear psychosis everyone has. While it is a fact that many more Muslims are being killed almost every week, every day, be it Amrina Bhatt, a TV artist, who was killed in our home, be it many other people, be it policemen, Saifullah Qadir, or any other who are being killed inside their homes. They are Muslims also, but we see minorities here being targeted clearly because of their identity, nothing else. But we have seen the way there has been the reaction, there's strong condemnation from all the leaders, political leaders, but it's not actually helping on the ground. How it is going to prevent the situation? The security structure has been made such that only thing they say, we will, take
all
revenge.
Right.
Yeah. We will kill the killers.
So very, very shocking and tragic. The latest targeted killing in Jammu and Kashmir with a teacher, Rajni, being shot dead as she was on her way to school. The police have said that they're going to avenge this death, that justice will be done. However, cold comfort relief for Rajni and her family. And of course, the Kashmiri Pandits continuing their protest to be moved out of the valley.